Y'all, it's time to talk. Stop scrolling. Sit, listen. Check me out. So, in my last video, I said something, and I think I really wanted to take a little bit of time to really harp on this um, because I don't think we understand the power that we have when it comes to the internet. Um, when you get into recording videos, you're called influencers, right? Influence. You have the ear of someone, and you are actually changing things in their mind. You're reshaping the way they think. The Bible calls it the renewing of the mind, right? So you have influence over something. Something that you said will cause someone to do something from what you said. They were influenced by what you said. Your voice carries weight in the life of people. And honestly, let's talk real talk. Being an influencer is a ministry. Being a content creator is a ministry, which is why I know you're going to be like, what? Yeah. I want you to take what you're doing seriously. I want you to, what you're saying, take it seriously. I learned a long time ago from being a preacher, right? My old pastor used to say, don't preach to the first 3 rows, preach to the last 3 rows. Because first of all, they don't know if they believe in God. They don't even really want to be at church. They're there because their mama made them come, right? But those are the ones that are usually more vulnerable, right? They're more vulnerable. But they also the ones that need to be influenced because you don't know what they came in. You don't know how many people walk into our churches and they're suicidal. You don't know how many people that walk past you in the grocery store that are, ready to take their own life. And I'll never forget, some years ago, I walked into a gas station. I just pumped my gas and I'm going inside to pay. It's before they was doing prepay. And when I come out, I pay for my gas, come back out, and this woman runs up to me. First of all, this woman had to have been like 25 to 30 years older than me, but she had heard me preach at church before. She falls on me and starts crying, and she's like, Mama, I'm going through so much. First of all, it caught me off guard with the mama, because at this point, I probably was like in my early 20s, or mid-20s. Let's about mid-20s at that point. And she says, I'm going through all of this stuff, and you just don't understand what my life is like, and blah, blah, blah. And my first thought was, lady, you older than me. What you coming over here to? What I got to say to you? And God said to me, he said, that's how much influence that you have. This woman is 20 to 30 years older than you. But she saw a value in what you had to say. And she stopped you to cry and release. As she's releasing, I'm finding out some things at that moment that's like, it's crazy. Because I would look at this woman and I would never see that. I would have never saw her going through that kind of thing or thinking the way that she was thinking at that moment. But I thank God because I had made that much of an impact in her life. Let's talk about your impact. You are impacting somebody's life in some kind of way, whether it's negative or it is positive. What you put out on these here internets is affecting someone one way or another. And it's like, even when y'all doing them little dances, I was a dancer, when I gained weight, I stopped dancing because I had too much of applause or whatever. But for those of y'all that have a bigger lower half, you understand what I mean by the standing ovation when you start dancing. And I'm like, I don't want it. Anyway, but all of those things, I see people dancing and I'm like, hey, now you got me jerking and popping and carrying on. Why? Because you've influenced me. Okay? I want y'all to understand the power that you have. You have the power to shift somebody's whole day. Just if you get on and be like, hey, girl, I just want y'all to see I was cute. Somebody gonna laugh. People say, you're funny. I am. Is. And I know that, but that's part of my DNA makeup. Let me tell you something. My real father, before he passed, I was like 8 years old. He was funny. We grew up in a funny home, and we were happy people, you know. And so that's all I know is how to be happy and laughing and joking. But there are so many people's lives that I've been able to save with that gift, because I've gone in and interrupt the loop, and they're like, "What did she just say? This clown." Okay, I got your attention. Now I stop the loop of that bad thought that was going round and round and round and round. That's a mechanism that I use for deliverance with certain people, or if I'm coaching, or people in the store just run up to me because I guess I have that face that says, "Ooh, I want you to come talk to me." Yeah, right now. But 9 times out of 10, I'd be like, okay. yeah. But I love people, and I love to help people. And I just really want y'all to think about that. You're going to help someone. And guess what? There's going to be some influencers on here. They're going to have some bad days. They're going to get up here and say that, "Hey, I'm having a rough day." Y'all know what y'all need to do? Love on them. Pour so much love on them. "Sis, we praying for you. Sis, we love you. Sis, you got it. There's just a rough moment. Hey, you had a bad moment, but it wasn't a bad day or a bad life. Keep going. Just get some rest. Sleep it off. Get up and get ready for the next day." That is what we're supposed to do. This is one of the most toxic, demonic, evil day and times to live in. Every day that we pick up our phones or turn on the TV, it's so much madness that is stressful. So if we can get up and brighten somebody's day with a silly comment, or making faces and you're saying crazy stuff, I see all y'all. I want you to know I see all of you. Sometimes I comment, sometimes I don't. But I just want you to know that I see y'all, and you're making a difference. Whether you know it or not, you're making a difference. Keep making the videos. Even if ain't but 2 people that watch. Make them anyway. Because you're making a difference. And even if it's just one, you have done your assignment for that day. And I want you to get up every day and be like, "I'm finna get on this here camera," because God anointed me to do that. God called me to influence somebody. He's allowing me the space into somebody's mind to shift their day or their life. And that, my friends, is a big responsibility. But my question becomes, are you up for the task? Because it comes with criticism. But you got to stand through that. Do it anyway. Because you'll realize when I'm saving somebody's life, it's worth it.